that's its tube for the
Ew.
terabellid. That's the butt end of the terabellid.
It's a little
Pygidium.
bit conglomerate looking, which is interesting.
There's a brittle star. Sponge, bryozoans. We're good. We should put it away. What do you think? Well, we'll take it. Even if it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, zoom out.
And we don't know, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. There were some angular features that were a little off, but the coloring looks good.
Kira Crispin's asking if you think the phosphorites will be datable using microfossils.
Follow me around. Yep.
Yeah, it depends on the phosphorite. You can have replacement on different scales, but they definitely have seen some frustules that are preserved. Typically with phosphorates, you can use strontium isotope dating, but microfossils
Ready to
is
switch
a good
to
idea.
sample view whenever you want.
Go for it.
Going. Sample tray out. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, coming out.
Okay, where you want this thing?
Anywhere you want.
But not
except the except one blue.
So how about this one?
3 pink, it looks like.
Yes.
Yep. Bob's nicely filling up the most difficult boxes so that Jess doesn't have to.
It's very thoughtful.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's rock
sample
3.
loss.
Sample tray in.
NA124, 126, rock 3, the starboard bio box, 3 pink.
Okay. Switch in a dive view. Dive.
So do you guys want that sponge? I'm pretty sure you've sampled it before, but maybe we can zoom in on it.
Okay, zoom in.
Oh, it might not be the one I'm thinking it was. It's not a heterocony or a saccocalyx.
Oh,
It's something else.
Is that the
Steve is saying it's a
shaggy beard?
Thenia species.
It's what?
Thenia.
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 Do you have some of this?
I don't
you
know.
want some of this? There's a littler one off to the side that could possibly collect.
Yeah, I would definitely be curious to see.
To see or to have it?
To have it, yeah.
To have and to hold.
So we're sampling a
Okay,
little one?
so Steve says we have got one before.
Okay.
So I prefer not to take it if you don't need it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, we carrying on?
Yes, please.
So I need a bio break though.
Okay, go ahead. We'll wait for you, I guess.
I don't know, with my skills growing, you might not have to.
We'll just wait. It's fine.
Yeah, Steve, you say
Don't
it's
dawdle.
abundant. Is this the shaggy sponge, is shaggy bearded or something like that?
While we're waiting, I got a question by text from some USGS folks listening in. They're asking about what's the underlying geology of the area and how does that lead to phosphorite formation. The California borderland has a lot of rugged terrain. It's the clashing of the North American plate with the Pacific plate and a third plate that I always forget the name of. We get a little triple junction in this region. And phosphorite formation doesn't have to do with the underlying geology. It provides these nice rises that sediments accumulated on, mostly carbonate sediments in ancient ocean times. And then during the Miocene era, which is about 23 to 5 million years ago, phosphate concentrations in seawater increased due to sluggish ocean conditions, and that phosphate in seawater started to replace the carbonates, lithifying that into a new rock called phosphorite, which is mostly composed of the mineral carbonate fluorapatite. So the phosphate went into the chemical structure of the carbonate and started to replace the CO3 2-, phosphate is PO4 2-, so they have a similar ionic radius and the same charge, so they can swap out in the chemical structure of the mineral and start creating apatite. And that's how you get these phosphorite deposits. So it's more a consequence of oceanography than necessarily geology that phosphorates are forming here, although the nice banks that are in this area due to the geology are at the right depth for this kind of deposition of phosphorite.
But you need high productivity and low oxygen.
Yeah,
right?
high productivity is really helpful. That's what helps increase those phosphate concentrations. And you also, at the time of the phosphorite formation, should have really low sedimentation rates and lower oxygen rates, which is also linked to productivity. As all that carbon gets consumed, you get low oxygen conditions, high phosphate conditions, and then you can start forming phosphorite.
So there's a light sediment cover over all the rocks here, which suggests that the currents aren't particularly strong in this place. Would you say?
Yeah, strong enough to keep it from burying the rocks, but not as strong as we see in some deeper seamounts where you get these really exposed bases, and that's why you can have more ferromanganese precipitation in those areas. You can have these mineral precipitates growing where there's very little sedimentation, and the seawater, iron and manganese oxides from seawater can supply that precipitation in those conditions.
I mean, the light sediment cover definitely determines what kind of animals will live on the
Yeah.
rocks. Some animals are totally tuned into
270.
sediment, and others really don't like it. So, for example, we're not seeing brazingas on any of these rocks, and only specific sponges are probably tolerant of the
Interesting.
sediment.
And then do some of the smaller things really prefer the sedimented
Yeah,
rock?
a lot of the worms
Okay. Interesting.
cope well, or they build their tubes out of sediments. Well, those look like little baby heteroconies.
Oh, awesome. And the third plate in this triple junction, Kristen Little on the chat has reminded me it's the Juan de Fuca plate. I think I always get scared I'm going to mispronounce that and accidentally swear. Thank you.
First name Juan, last name DeFuca. What you doing?
What?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking
Who are
to
you talking to?
Talking to you.
Waiting for the action.
I didn't know if I should come up more, or if you were going to keep coming up.
I was actually trying to get the Z-bias right.
Oh.
What I was really trying to do while we were waiting.
You have samples of that yellow sponge?
We do. I think this sponge is covered with long spiggles on the outside.
Yeah.
I think we did sample this one.
Okay.
Did you turn that thruster back on? It's all wobbly. I think it's not.
It's not on.
Don't have a name for it.
Now it's on.
That's why my Z-bias was all wrong.
What is a Z-bias?
It's the compensating for how buoyant the vehicle is. So in Alvin, they have water they can move in and out of the variable ballast system.
Yep.
We don't have that. All we have is thrusters. So we set the thrusters like an amount of constant downforce on the thrusters to compensate for how buoyant we are.
So if we all eat a bunch and come sit in here, it's not going to help with the weight.
No. No. So it was, yeah, it was because that's probably what happened to Jess too, because she was saying it's all wobbly.
Oh,
And it was probably they turned off the thruster and forgot to turn it back on. Right?
I didn't hear her say that, but I believe you.
Yeah. She thought there was something wrong with the vertical thruster.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Can you zoom in now?
One nice thing about a Herc dive relative to an Alvin dive is you never tell us that we're almost out of power.
Yeah.
We can be out of time, but not out of power.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That is really pretty. So bright.
Very nice. If Mary's on, she can tell us which little crab this is. If it's the same thing that we were looking at earlier.
Is that all the zoom?
Such a pretty color sponge.
Okay, I gotta get going. Zoom out.
Bye.
Nope, he did too. He or she, sorry.
Have you been spiculed trying to process that?
And no, not this one. We try to handle it with care, but yeah, no, not so sharp of needles, I guess.
I forget it was Caitlin or Kayla that was mentioning she was processing one of the sponges. And got one of the
Kayla.
yeah, I got one of the spicules in her hand. Feels like fiberglass.
Don't like. Sounds painful.
Wonder if I should do a transect here.
I think you
Unless
could.
we're going to sample again. I don't know. Do you think we have 100 meters of rocks left?
Probably not. But, you know, you
That
never
big
know.
Sponge.
Look at it.
Yeah, let's just go peek at that sponge if we can.
That version of the map, so the bathymetric one was, oh, sorry, the backscatter one's black and
Hey,
white.
you need to zoom in now?
Which kind is this?
This is slope.
Slope.
Getting seasick.
Very pretty.
Up and down.
And so we're guessing that when I'm guessing that when the slope
Beautiful.
peters out, we'll be back to
Less rock.
sediment.
Gotcha.
Do you have some of this type?
Hard to say.
Can you zoom in some more?
Yeah, yesterday we collected some that do look similar to this one. Two different ones.
I mean, it almost looks like that really big old one we did
It does.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably the same thing.
And after that, we collected yet another one, white with circles like this.
Look at the pile of debris of hydroids and some other things in the bottom there. I wonder if it's just collecting floating things. Oh, there's its cleaner shrimp. See the little shrimp over on the side? Disappeared.
He's just around the corner there.
There's
Yeah,
X's
it's
little,
little-
yeah.
I
See
think
a
they're
tentacle.
so funny. They're always peeking out of little pieces.
Crispin
Okay,
is asking
gotta get
what it was
moving.
like washing Herc with all the siphonophores all over it.
Mhm.
They didn't sting Crispin, so people were okay.
Those dead sponge skeletons always fool me when I'm trying to figure out the geology. I'm always like, why? What kind of rock
Let's
is
start
that?
a transect, I think,
Okay.
and hope we can get some, most of it be rock.
Bridge nav. Can I get a 20 meter step 270? Thank you.
Or Brazingits.
Or that big white sponge. So is your feeling this is going to be sort of a mixed
Yeah,
basalt and
we're definitely seeing many different rock types here. I've seen some of those nicely laminated or bedded sedimentary rocks we were seeing yesterday and the day before. These bigger boulders could be
Oh yeah, I think so.
basalt or
some of these rocks are pretty colorful.
I think especially on pattern escarpment where we're still on the continental margin, you can even get some other rock types, for potentially some continental rocks. So
There's a lot more dead sponge skeletons around here.
Bridge nav.
Brazingits.
Did
I have
I
another
miss
20 meter step 270.
the depth
Is that
for this
Honolulu?
start?
Was at the start it was 659.
Thank you.
Did you guys get the location on that one?
I just missed the depth, but I got it, I think.
Okay.
659.
Hagfish.
Might be some Abesta pluma, the white stalks. They are carnivorous sponges. See these little white stalks along the way? Collected at least one of those. I actually think they also might have methane oxidizers as symbionts. They're common at methane seeps too. Although some of these could be sea pens, I'm not close enough to be sure.
Crispin is asking us if we know where Nautilus is going next year.
Pacific. More Pacific.
Maybe the West Pacific, right?
I don't think
Bob, you would be the
I
one.
don't think we're going there
Oh,
next year.
Maybe the Okeanos is going there.
Where do you think we're going, Bob?
I think we're going back here.
Really?
Hawaii at the end of the year.
Okay.
How do you say it? Papa?
Papahuana Makuakea? Papahana
Yeah.
Makuakea.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, look at that. Don't know where I pulled that from.
I got the Papa part.
Bridge nav, another 20 meter step, same bearing, 270.
Some more Helipterus.
Is that the sea pen?
Yeah. Thorny heads. Hagfish.
Rocks.
Rocks. Little Mixicula down at the bottom.
Yeah, we can
You're
definitely.
getting good at this, Devin.
Seeing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Now a lot of these flat rocks look more like sedimentary or a few carbonates.
Rhizoans,
Yeah, but
Brisingans.
you don't think these flat slabby things could be
Possible.
right?
The bigger ones. Small rocks definitely don't really look like it.
Hagfish again? Oh, is that Heteropolypus on the left? The mushroom coral?
Yep, all closed up.
Yep.
I'm about 60 meters to end of transect.
Thank you.
Getting nice rocks so far.
Lots of rocks.
That's good.
It's that really bright yellow sponge.
Yeah.
The one next to it looks interesting.
Yeah. Little fluffy ball.
Bridge nav, another 20 meter step bearing 270.
Nice crab right there. Hiding under that sponge.
Big one. You don't see the Brisingans on bryozoans too often. That was unusual. Usually they're on the rocks.
What are those little white ones that are like tubes in the lower right now that we're just finished passing?
I think those are bryozoans.
Okay.
Not 100% sure. But sometimes they look like sponges.
Flattening out.
Panikia. Yeah. There's a sort of another ledge, terrace-like ledge that we're coming up to.
The last random rocks. Goodbye, rocks. And if anybody watching in is curious why we aren't stopping or looking at anything, these are purposeful video transects that will be analyzed by some lucky students to look at the biodiversity and rock diversity along a video transect. So it's purposeful. Another kind of data that we're collecting on this cruise.
Will they have audio? I listen to the audio too.
Yes, there will also be a study of all of the bad jokes, commentary.
Because I got one for them if they're falling asleep while they're,
Oh, you brought a joke today?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It's overtold, but I'm going for it. Okay, why? Let me set it up good. So I'll give the punchline beforehand. Why do they put barcodes on Norwegian ships?
On Norwegian, what?
Ships. So they can Scandinavian. Yeah, how many? Raise your hand if you heard it before.
I have not.
I heard it for the first time from a friend just like a couple days ago.
Oh, see,
Super
okay.
bizarre.
Every time I come out to sea, somebody says it.
About 34 meters end of transect.
You're welcome,
Well.
students, dissecting the video.
I have a bad geology one.
Do it.
What happens when you resort to looking up geology jokes?
This is too meta.
You're off your rocker?
Oh, that's a good one. This one says, you know you've hit rock bottom.
That's good.
All right, well, Crispin thinks it's Groundhog Day. All we see is rocks every day.
Good thing.
Quite a bit of shrimp in the water column.
Many people find rocks more interesting than mud, but
Yeah,
I think it's
they
all
do give some
interesting.
topography. Interesting, these little ledges that poke out.
So what do you think about these little ledges? Could they be phosphorite?
It's tough. We've seen a lot of carbonate ledges when they're really close to the sediment like that. The phosphorite tends to be about 1 centimeter to 3 centimeters thick, maybe more, maybe 5 centimeters. And the carbonate ledges tend to be a little bit thinner. Luckily, carbonate easily breaks, so we can test it out.
Well, how much longer on this transect?
Looks like we're almost
We
there.
have about 10 meters-ish.
I think we could take a look at these. Get
Sure.
more slabs when we finish. We also could core here. You think Paul wants another set of cores here?
Good question. Yeah, you might be hearing. I
Paul,
imagine so.
if you're there, you might speak up. Are we close? Yeah, so we must be almost at our 10 meters.
Paul's here. Can you hear me?
Do you want cores here, Paul?
Sure, we'd be
can get
happy.
'em.
We can end it here. It's close enough.
Let's
Be
end.
happy.
Bridge
with-
nav, hold
Can
position.
we stop, please, before we head back onto the rocks?
So this is end of transect 2.
Yep.
Yep.
You might need to move back a bit.
Yeah, I will. Let me just get the point in.
So you would, Paul, we should take the last 3 cores?
We'd be happy with more cores. Thank you.
Okay. Because I think this might be it for sediments. It's our depth.
Bridge nav.
636 meters.
Can we get a 10-meter step 090? Can we make that a 20-meter step bearing 090? Thank you.
I think Crispin's setting us up with another joke. Let's hear it. What's the fastest drink in the world?
What? The what drink in the world?
Fastest drink in the world.
Warp something. Warp speed something.
Don't know.
Okay,
Speed of
Crispin.
Sprite? I don't know. Milk.
What?
Milk, because it's pasteurized
before you see it.
Oh.
I think that's over my head.
Past your eyes. I get it.
Don't like.
It's a humdinger of a joke.
Is this the place? That looks like the place.
Got to be the place.
Here we go.
We don't know how deep these sediments are.
Can you be my pan and tilter?
Sure.
They look kind of sandy. But let's take a look.
Yeah.
Not too deep.
Not deep.
Hang on a sec.
I mean, we could try another spot too. If you
Yeah, now it's going.
yeah, it's going. Would you push through?
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
You been working out, Bob?
Well, hopefully that's not too deep. They probably pushed some of the top down, so it's probably all right. Right? Yeah.
I really like the ones that hang on so long.
They look like Nemerdians, like ribbon worms.
Mm-hmm.
There are some red, long, skinny ones that look like
Oh,
that.
nice.
They're not made out of rubber.
Hey, you guys, this is Paul in the lounge. I forgot to ask to pop a Niskin before
we
the cores,
forgot the Niskin.
but good to just do it now. Anyway, thank you.
So that was do it when we have a chance, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Before stirring it up more?
Yeah, actually, you know, if you're coming up after this, maybe after the push cores, if you come up off the bottom, then pop it then.
Oh, do you want to take it before we disturb the bottom with the
Well,
cores?
I think it's
Well-
already
Yeah.
disturbed, so maybe when we get
But
back up.
it's probably less disturbed now than it's going to be when you remove the
Yeah.
course. So
Okay.
can we take it now, Paul?
Well, take it whenever you think it'll be least disturbed.
I think
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this should be NA124, 127. I believe this
Can you-
is Niskin 2.
Kylie, can
Yep.
you pan me over so I can
Oh,
see
sorry.
what I'm doing?
Sorry. Lo siento, senor.
And for anybody watching who doesn't know what a Niskin is, that's a
I gotta switch the camera.
little
Is
chamber
it
that
numeral 2 here?
as soon as
Number
Bob
2, yeah.
pulls the cord, it fills a chamber with seawater and closes it off, so you get a seawater sample at exactly the
heck?
depth where the vehicle is. So I think Paul's group uses the seawater to get a baseline for the biological community to compare with their sediments.
Come
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Watching?
Popped.
Good job.
Correct.
All right, so that was Niskin 2.
Did you get the coordinates on that? Sorry.
I did not. Was that
Okay.
sample 127?
Yes,
Yeah.
127.
Thank you.
Is that tube worm?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Inching along.
Brute force. Let's take.
Yeah, I gotta relocate here.
I'll have to zoom
Closer.
in on that later.
Yeah.
Done, thank you.
Almost looks like an acorn worm or something inching along.
Oh,
You don't usually see them out on the surface.
should we slurp that?
Yeah, these are
Yeah,
these
can
are
we-
hard. What about the acorn worm?
Can we zoom in on it
Yep.
before you take the next core? I'm not sure what that is.
I haven't seen that.
I think it's an acorn worm.
Looks like one of those gummy worms.
Or I mean,
Not as
it's
sweet,
not
though.
Kind
Yeah,
of gross,
I'm guessing.
actually.
a little more nasty.
March. And it's not an ecurine, I don't think. Is it? Maybe it's an ecurine. Greg, if you're watching,
Could we slurp that?
we could. We're in the middle of coring.
Oh. I need to relocate to do the cores, so we can probably slurp him.
If we can slurp it before the next core goes in, that would be okay. That would be helpful. But
The
does
current's
that
coming
look
at us.
like an ecurine, Greg? Maybe it's a Benelia with or type thing with its proboscis all curled up.
Yeah, it's got a proboscis, the pale part at the front. So it's a thalassema, I think is what it is, not a Benelia.
Thalassema.
Thalassema, TH.
Thalassema.
What jar is it going in?
Right, yes.
Course slurp will
One
be
of
fine.
either 4, 5, or 6.
We're on 4.
Gonna go with 4.
Okay.
Can you zoom in?
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Going.
Is he ready?
Well, nope,
Yes.
probably not.
Bye.
You don't think he's ready for that?
I don't think so. Alright. I'm going to leave suction on until I see him.
And that's going to be 128.
Yes, NA124, 128,
Slurp 4.
slurp 4.
I'm going to turn it off.
I think he went.
Nope, I think
Yeah.
I just saw him. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Nice little condo for him.
I don't know if he thinks about it that
He might not think at all.
way.
He's going to have a nice ethanol or formalin condo in a little bit.
Yeah. Hot tub. Deluxe.
All right.
We've got another joke from Crispin. This one's for Kira. Why wasn't the geologist hungry?
Because they had all their minerals supplied. I don't know.
All right, zoom in.
Because I lost my appetite.
Oh,
So
there we go.
appropriate. That's an excellent one. Thank you, Crispin. Although I hope I don't lose my appetites. I want to collect them.
I don't know if I can get any deeper on that core.
I'm not a geologist. Is an apatite a type of rock?
That's what we're studying. It's the form of phosphorate.
Apatite is calcium phosphate.
Calcium
And
phosphate.
Our phosphorites are made out of carbonate fluorapatite, which is a fancy apatite with a little bit of carbonate and a little bit of fluorine in the
Ah,
structure.
how
I
fitting.
wouldn't be hungry either if that was what was on the menu. Fluorine and carbonate.
Yeah. Not the yummiest of things.
But apatite's the name of the mineral.
Ah,
So
I have a blue apatite, like gemstone in my berthing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll have to show you later.
That sounds
Got one
gorgeous.
of them, and I've got an aventurine,
Can
and
we zoom in?
yeah.
Kind of tilter person?
yeah. Well, I don't do the zoom, but yeah, sure.
You initiate the zoom by getting it in a proper position.
A little
Centered.
bit of pan right.
Please zoom.
Any more- yeah, there it is.
The good thing about a geologist is they never take their work for granted.
Ah.
just a few grumbles.
Not so good.
We got the one good spot.
Well, I guess I should have been more over on that side. That's probably a rock right here. Yeah. We could
Yeah,
shake it
we
out
could-
and
we
go
could-
over there.
Why don't we do that if you think it's shakeable? You need music. Looks like the Monster Mash or something.
Mm-hmm. Video zoom?
Yeah.
Snowstorm. Interesting.
Get off. I got to move up a little bit. Can you zoom out?
It's almost.
Wet.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, this is not working out all that great.
I think we can keep it if it's
Okay.
got 10 centimeters. Do you think it's got 10 centimeters
Well,
of sediment in
you
there?
go by the one I pulled out. What did that look like?
Like
7.
a third. Yeah.
What's the total length of them in centimeters? Like the tube itself?
I think they said 30.
Maybe 25 or 30.
Zoom in.
Sorry, a bit too much.
Yeah, they're just not going anymore.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, this is expected. This is like a terrace on a rocky slope,
Okay.
and it's low accumulation sediment.
Okay.
We'll take
So-
what we get.
Okay, this is
NA124, 129.
Pan down, pan
Push
down,
core
pan
11.
down, pan down.
push core 11.
Is that in there?
Yep, I think. No, it's just rested. It's just missing the bottom lip. We've got a good bubble view.
That's not a good view.
Well, you can see the bottom of it.
You can see the bottom of it. I see it backwards and upside down.
It's still there, though.
I don't even want that where I could see it.
Did all the sediment come out? No.
What?
I don't know, I thought it
No?
looked empty.
I think it's got
No?
4.
Oh, no, it's in there. Okay.
No? I think it's coming out.
Yeah, I don't think you have very much left in there.
I
An
know.
inch.
Oh, maybe we should
This one's hard because I can't see the base.
try it again.
All right, I got to move to get back over there. You, let's try over here. That's got to be the place,
Sure.
right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah. That's why you don't want to be hanging on to them when you do them.
Looks like we bent the.
That's all she wrote.
Okay.
We'll take it. Just whatever it is.
All right. Yeah, I have better luck this time. Right? You know what? I got to be more on top of it.
Paul and Greg aren't watching us anymore.
They went to
What can we
lunch.
do?
Head for the rock. No, I'm just kidding.
This is exactly what it's like putting tiki torches in my yard. It's very
Use a
difficult.
manipulator to do it?
No, I just have to keep trying new spots. It's too rooty.
Zoom in. Come on, baby, do it this time.
So loose.
Two, let's see it. Boom and boom.
Is that in there?
No, it's on the edge of the...
Dang it.
You got it.
Is that it?
Yep, it's in.
Woo. Thank you.
Hopefully it's still in there. All right, now that's push core 11 at 1940.
Oopsie.
Was that the right hole?
It is now. That's going to be 11.
That was the right hole, just different order from the other one.
Oh, there was something stuck in there. Push core.
Oh, dang it.
I forgot to draw these. Remember the orientation?
They were like this.
Did it go in?
Yep.
There's two, and then where was the third one?
This, but it was
9 was about like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 11 was around.
yeah,
like,
this was 11 on the left. Right?
yeah,
And then this
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, then it was 9, and then 10 was right to the right of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's...
How did that happen?
On the sweet spot.
It's the only spot on this whole terrace.
That is 9.
This is 9, yes.
Push core 9 and number 131.
Correct.
Go forward more. You're in.
That works better if you just tell me what to do instead.
I like telling. No problem. Permission received.
All right, I'd like to reset DVL before you go anywhere, if that's okay.
Yep.
All right.
It just messes with my brain to look at that view.
No problem. I'll interpret it for you.
All right, reset. Onward?
Yes, please.
All right.
Like trying to write your name in a mirror, you know?
Yeah.
And we're just about at waypoint AC. So you guys know. Let me get a look on the next waypoint.
I wondered who.
All right, so heading towards AD. About 265. And we're going to cover a little bit of slopiness, another terrace, and then another slope.
You have another terrace coming up?
A little one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bridge nav. Can we get a 50
I'm
meter
gonna
step
change the watch
bearing
in
265?
a few minutes, so I don't think I want to start a transector.
So that was 265 pilot.
Although we could look around at the rocks. Do you want to look at the rocks
We can. Hard to tell
before
from
we
here.
go anywhere? Can we?
Bridge
Or are
nav,
we
hold position.
Are we committed to going place somewhere right now?
Nope, I just held the position. We can stay here.
You want to pick up and look?
These all look kind of funky. Or like
Meaning what?
sedimentary
Wanna zoom in?
conglomerates and doesn't look
I
like
don't
a lot of
know.
phosphorite.
There's some flat ones.
Zoom
I
in.
don't see any. Where? They all look like blobs to me.
Zoom
That,
in.
that looks like a fish.
Nice thorny head.
Hello, thorny head.
This thing flattish. Not these.
Is that like some sediment colored sponge or something over there? Just looks like a mat.
Or stretched out.
I don't
Got
know,
another
these
Joe?
look like the right kind of stuff, right? They're sort of purpley looking.
Well, this one is not the right. The one on the right's maybe not correct. It's not got the right shape, and it's too angular, right?
Bridge nav, 10 meter step,
Same with all of
270.
these. So we're looking for flat slabs.
Thanks, Erin.
Can we zoom out just a bit? Thank you.
Yeah, it makes me nervous when we have all this.
What do you think about some of these slabby things? Are they all too thick?
Want to zoom in?
About something like that.
Nice
Good
pose.
morning, sunshine. He's displaying against for her.
What about the rock in the back there?
They're too fat. We kind of need these thin slabs.
Is that the one on the...
That's a little slabby.
Which one are you looking at? This one?
Not that
Yeah.
one.
Boy,
That one?
Try
boy, my eyeballs.
That one.
Just try
on
and
the right.
That one?
Yeah.
look.
No, I'm not fast enough.
Is that a little acorn worm to the right of the pink sea urchin?
Poking
Well,
out a
acorn
little
worms
bit.
are usually big, but the thing we had before was not an acorn worm. It was a no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ecurine.
I don't see any
Sorry.
rocks that I like here. They're a little bit thick. And
Okay, we're just looking and we can move on.
Moving on.
Sorry, I feel like it's my duty to
See how
say no sometimes.
What was that number? 265?
265. Yep. Bridge nav. Can I get a 20 meter step? 265. Thank you.
So it wasn't an acorn worm, that really big one we slurped up. It was a echurine with a, which the body is long and non-segmented, and then there's a really big proboscis. In that case, it was curled up, that white part of the worm,
Yeah.
and it looked like the head of an acorn worm, but it wasn't.
Proboscis is like an appendage.
It's like a big feeding apparatus
Okay.
that sticks out of the mouth.
What's
Like
the
a
name of
tongue.
that again?
Proboscis.
No, of the not acorn worm?
The echurine.
Echurine.
It's like, I think it's still a phylum, but it might have been subsumed into the polychaetes. Annelids, I mean.
Annelids. What qualifies something as an annelid?
Ooh, it's, well, used to be kind of segmented things plus leeches and earthworms,
Okay.
but it's, Greg's eating. I'm not going to bother him about the formal definition of an annelid, but it's one of the big groups of worms that includes polychaetes. Of course, we have lots and lots of polychaetes in the deep sea. But recent molecular sequencing of all these other unsegmented worm groups have shown that they're closely related to polychaetes, and they've been put in the annelids,
Big old sponge.
the phylum
Yeah.
Annelida.
They're all
Hi.
bilaterally symmetric.
Okay, Greg, what defines an annelid these days? What defines an annelid these days? No segments.
He's not plugged in yet.
He just walked in to change the watch.
I'm just going to let this step settle out.
Okay,
Please wait.
we're informed the echura we just slurped up is definitely an annelid. It's just lost its segments evolutionarily.
Oh. Trying to work my biology muscle. It is the weakest
So
one
we
I
were being
have.
asked what defines an annelid. Okay. Segmentation, present or past.
Okay.
And chaetae, which are bristle-like structures that often occur on segments, but if the worm's lost its segments, the chaetae can still be there.
Yeah, I think
Like a centipede?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, centipedes are segments.
we're going to do a watch change. If you guys go to sample any of these rocks, because they're kind of in this plate-like look here, I would do a strength test. I would see if the ROV can break it before you take it, because it could just be conglomerate or carbonate. Like, I really don't like these kind of chunky rocks in the middle of the screen right now. So I'll try to be there for you guys, but just in case you
Video's
yeah,
changing
you could test that for its strength. See if it'll break. Thanks, guys.